Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I've got a few stories to share with you up in this biatcha. Starting with this one from crypto media outlet You Today. Ripple losing customers because of XRP, Brad Garlinghouse says. What? Oh my gosh, this sounds horrendous. It sounds more scary than it is. Brad Garlinghouse actually just makes some solid points, and I'm completely on board with it, frankly. And it stems from an interview with Julia Chatterley. She's with CNN, isn't that right? CNN, I believe that's correct. Yes, it is. It is correct. My memory did not fail me. I've also got this from the Daily Hodl. Ripple planning aggressive expansion of XRP remittance platform in 2021, which is fantastic to me because it has to do with real-world utility of XRP, which I believe will ultimately be required for the long-term viability of XRP. And so I like seeing things develop along those lines. And also, we've got word that another major cryptocurrency exchange is on board supporting the Spark token airdrop for XRP holders, which is awesome. I mean, I'll take free stuff, right? It was interesting, though, because this particular cryptocurrency exchange recently said they would not be participating, and they seem to have changed their mind completely, so super duper. Before we go any further, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I would appreciate the support. And also, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, because if you don't, you are dead to me. All right, into the content now. On December 2nd, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse made yet another appearance on CNN International, during which he once again took aim at U.S. regulators for not providing enough clarity on digital assets like XRP. And so we got word the other day from Julia Chatterley. You can see this here you go, December 1st. Excited to say... this is Twitter now. Julia Chatterley wrote, excited to say we've got Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse tomorrow on First Move, their program, First Move. Would love your crypto thoughts / questions on what we should discuss. And so I had a hard-hitting question, so I wrote to Julia Chatterley here. And I wrote the following. Ask Brad if he could be an animal. What animal would that be and why? Serious, hard-hitting question, and clearly the XRP community clamoring to know the answer, because, look, I got 82 likes on that thing. I don't even have that many followers on Twitter. I think I have, like, less than 13,000. And so for a reply inside of a thread like this to get any sort of traction, it's clear to me that the XRP community wants to know what animal Brad Garlinghouse would be if he could be an animal and why. And I'm sorry to report we did not get the answer to that question. So I know. I feel the same as you. But the piece continues. When asked by First Move host Julia Chatterley whether the cryptocurrency is preventing central banks or international companies from joining the RippleNet payments network, Garlinghouse said that some potential customers had indeed decided to hold off. And here's a quote. Oftentimes, when I'm speaking to customers and talking to them about the product that uses XRP in the payment flows, they will ask me about the regulatory dynamics. We have had customers say, look, until there's clarity in the regulatory frameworks, then we're gonna hold off. And so that's why I keep saying, it's like, to some of the people out there, like it's mostly Bitcoin maxi trolls type, they love to critique the rate of growth for Ripple as a company and adoption of XRP, and use of on-demand liquidity. And it almost always strikes me as disingenuous because they're doing something that's never been done before. Working in a nascent asset class with a lack of regulatory clarity, it's amazing that they have dozens and dozens and dozens of customers utilizing XRP in payment flows and settlement today. Like, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's not the world-changing flow of money is not fast enough for you? Oh, I'm sorry, you little baby back bitch. Could you just chill out for a second? But anyway, on a podcast earlier this week, Garlinghouse mentioned that the CEO of an unnamed company declined to use on-demand liquidity for exactly the same reason. Here's another quote. Yesterday, I was on a phone call with the CEO of a financial services company. He's saying, hey, I would love to work with you guys, but we cannot use what Ripple calls on-demand liquidity. See, and so look, all good things in time. This will all get worked out. And I don't believe for a moment that XRP is a security. And even if it were deemed a security by the United States government, well, XRP is freaking global. And it cites here in this article, too, 95% of Ripple's clients are not in the United States. So they're going to keep doing what they're doing regardless, even if they have to go and get... they would be regulated in a different way in the United States if XRP were declared to be a security, but... it would not stop their business model. It does not mean that XRP would go to zero. I certainly don't believe. And look, I don't have a financial background. I'm not offering financial advice, so don't buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just sharing with you my everyday Joe Schmo opinion. It's not something that I personally am afraid of. Now, they have this little subhead in here, no clarity from the SEC. This is Garlinghouse's second interview with Chatterley this year. In February, he spoke about how the company could follow in Amazon's path by branching out into areas other than cross-border payments. Regulations are the hot-button issue for Ripple as of now, which is why they were the focal point of the latest interview. Garlinghouse points out, both the U.S. Department of Justice and FinCEN refer to XRP as a currency, but the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission remains on the fence about its identity. And so it's not that they're like, oh my gosh, they're saying like, is XRP a security back and forth? This, like, they're not providing clarity for the roughly 7,000 cryptocurrencies that are on the planet, except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's, just to be clear, it's not just XRP, but hey, all good things in time. Now, I really like this piece. Check this out. This is from the Daily Hodl. Ripple planning aggressive expansion of XRP remittance platform in 2021. Why is that so freaking zoomed in? How did that happen? Whatever. All right, Ripple's Senior Vice President of Product Management and Corporate Development says the payments firm is planning a major expansion of its XRP remittance platform next year. In a new interview on the Lind Academy podcast, Ashish Burla outlines the state of Ripple's XRP-powered on-demand liquidity product and what's planned for the future. And check out this quote. With the cryptocurrency product, you can send into, I believe, 3 destinations around the world. We're expanding that aggressively in 2020 and 2021. We are going to continue to expand ODL, on-demand liquidity. I mentioned this in a few countries as destinations. We want to get global coverage of that where possible by the regulators. Now, Burla highlights MoneyGram and Azimo as 2 leading users of on-demand liquidity, and here's another quote. The traction has been so good that, 10% of U.S. dollar to Mexico, which is the largest corridor in the world for remittances, 10% of that now moves over blockchain technology, digital assets, and RippleNet. And specifically, of course, we're talking about XRP. Anyway, he continues though. So we've made a pretty big dent in that in just a few years after launching, so this is real. People are using it. It's far superior compared to the traditional world where there's tons of excess capital pre-positioned around the world just to facilitate payments, which is crazy. That removes a lot of that because now you're trusting a digital asset. You're not trusting these large mega banks to move your money. Now, moving forward, Burla says Ripple may focus on e-commerce payments following the recent launch of its new loans platform. And this is such cool stuff. I love this. Here's a final quote. I think, there are other areas as well as, listen, you get lending down, you get payments down, that opens up a lot of other, white space for us to innovate in as well. One in particular is e-commerce. I think with COVID, you've seen an explosion in growth of e-commerce. I don't think you have the right kind of financial infrastructure to support those kinds of companies. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to in terms of innovating and building for in the upcoming year. So look, and it's funny because Brad Garlinghouse, he was saying that even earlier, there's this idea of branching out and doing other stuff. And so I firmly believe they will, but I like Brad Garlinghouse's laser focus on the primary use case for XRP and of RippleNet in general, because that's, of course, RippleNet being the messaging portion of the platform. And they don't stretch themselves thin. If you guys have read Brad Garlinghouse's Peanut Butter Manifesto, you know what I'm talking about. I've covered it on the channel. If you don't know, just Google Brad Garlinghouse Peanut Butter Manifesto. It's a funny name, but it's legit content. Now, finally, the last thing I'm going to cover in this particular video was this from CryptoComes.com. XRP holders from Kraken BTSE can now claim Spark Flare. It's FLR for short. Less than 2 weeks divide us from a much-anticipated snapshot of XRP balances for Spark FLR token distribution. that's actually not quite precise. So there's going to be a snapshot on December 12th. The distribution, we don't yet know when the Spark tokens will be distributed. Anyway, top-tier exchanges with massive user bases are trying to catch the last ride to avoid the exodus of XRP army soldiers. That's what I love how they word that. And so it's funny because the other day I reported on this channel that Kraken had denied the Spark airdrop. They said, nope, we're not going to do it. And here you go. And now I'm reporting whether it was a day or two later, whatever it was, now Kraken's on board. And this is fantastic because they are a major exchange. Which leads to this rather comical chart. You guys, I'm sure many of you are familiar with XRP Crow on the Twitters. He's the guy that puts together the XRP community poster and all the awesome infographics, and he made a new one. I mean, he does great work, by the way. It looks so professional. He's just got a knack for this stuff. But he made a new one. This is on your screen right now. This just cracks me up. Spark token airdrop. Exchanges not supporting airdrop. And it's a pie right there. And it shows 100% Coinbase. I like it. That's a good sense of humor right there. I rather enjoyed that, so I thought I'd share it on the channel here. So it's probably going to wrap it up point, but I got a chuckle out of it. Hopefully you got at least 2, if not 3 chuckles out of this particular infographic. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.